We
Yeah.
have one premiere doc that I would say that came out on Apple TV Plus this weekend. It also premiered at AFI, got pretty good reviews, and I was hoping that it would be akin to a previous documentary that we caught on Apple TV Plus of another artist called Billie Eilish, which I really, really, really loved. I wonder if they'll have the
Hmm.
Billie Eilish doc somewhere here. They do not, but that Billie doc was one of my favorites of the year. I'm not a fan of the Selena and Chef Max original series that she's got. Girl's got like 3 seasons. Good for her. Selena and Chef. I prefer a story like this. It's not perfect and it's not
Hmm.
up there with the Billie Eilish doc, but it's in its path. This is a movie that isn't looking to reflect back at her entire life, but at a turning point in her career, I would say. Specifically, it's not even looking at her as an artist that comes with it. It's looking at her mentally. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, the Tony Hawk doc recently from South by that's also on HBO did the same thing where he's looking at through his career, but it's because he just physically went through like an injury, so he's kind of going through the physicality of why he does it. Here she's going through the like mentality of why she does it. It's in the name, My Mind and Me. What she was going through when she was young and who she was trying to appease. There's a lot of lines dealing with Disney that I
Yeah.
found fascinating to hear her like vent about because the
Hmm.
conversation isn't Disney. She's in a different scenario, but it's the not the it's trauma, but it's the not being able to control the environment that she was in led her
Yeah.
to
Her
remember
lack of
her time at Disney.
agency.
That and I found that so like that it was scarier than hearing the repeated story of what might have happened at Disney. It's just like, dang, this is the repercussions of what you're still feeling.
Hmm.
There are points where it is goofy, like it's just her vlogging and she's entering her school. Like, ma'am, you in America, you can't just be showing up to schools. I don't care if you're Selena Gomez. She's showing up to like elderly people's houses who she knew when she was young, and all I'm picturing is like you're seeing these people. It's raw. Like the guy answers the door and he's like, Selena Gomez, and they like enter this house. But I'm also like, yeah, you were friends with her, but like before you became famous, like when was the last time you saw these people and you're pulling up at this house with a whole camera crew? Did you get your shot? Was it cute, heartfelt for your documentary, or a time to go leave her dying? There was weird moments like that as well, where it kind of felt like she's just going in and out of places for no reason. But she's such a big artist. Like it's 90 minutes, so it's jumping from so many tones and ideas, so she can go back home. But then she also has to like escape to Africa because it's the only place where she can have her phone off and it be the excuse of, sorry, I can't turn this on because we're away. But really, the excuse is she doesn't want to be bombarded with being Selena Gomez and reminded of that wherever she goes on her own phone. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fascinating sort of look at her career, and particularly because I think, as you mentioned, she has that Disney star past, and she's also like, been this huge pop star and been in a bunch of interesting roles in films and television. We really like her on Only Murders in the Building. But I think what she went through is aside from like the highly publicized romantic stuff, her breakup with Justin Bieber, and then also the like also somewhat highly publicized battle with mental health that left her in a mental hospital and dealing with psychosis and bipolar diagnosis. It's just interesting because it comes at this time in her life where she really is becoming kind of like this more fully formed adult and realizing kind of the path that she's chosen or that's been chosen for her in some ways. And to me, the most fascinating element of it was her kind of dealing with the fact that she doesn't really like what she does, but it's the
That's crazy. Yeah.
best thing for her to achieve what she wants. Um, and yeah, just the ways in which she and the people around her try to deal with it. Like I've seen that there's apparently some like criticism of her friend Raquel going around, and I thought it was just really interesting that she
Raquel, the
has
blonde
this.
one?
Yes,
Yeah, we didn't
she
like
has
Raquel.
this. She has this close friend with her who like tries to remind her of like the privilege that she has being in the
She don't
position
need to
she
be
is.
reminded.
even even if it does like hurt at times too. I don't know. I feel like friends like Raquel are necessary. I get it. She comes off kind of harsh in the doc, but I will commend Raquel if no one else will. Um, but yeah, because she sort of realized like, oh, what I do doesn't matter as much as helping other people, but I
Yeah.
also am in a position where I can help other people. So seeing an artist realize that maybe their passion lies elsewhere, and the way that that contributes to her mental state, I thought was interesting. I do feel like there are moments where maybe um the documentary is more honest than her talking heads, if that makes sense. Like in
Mm-hmm.
the way that they'll use TMZ and paparazzi footage to kind of fill in some blanks in her story rather than have her actually address them, or like say Justin Bieber's name out loud. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not stuff that I think I needed. It's just stuff that I think would have maybe made it a little better and more intimate and more revealing.
I agree.
But yeah, I thought it was good.
The way I put it is, this is a doc about Selena Gomez, but it's not the doc about Selena Gomez. She still has so much of her life to look back on, and when she's going to look at. So, and
Yeah.
then yeah, because there was a lot of other medical conditions that she was talking about. Lupus, as you highlighted,
Mhm.
was another one, and how you have people telling her like, yeah, this might become something worse. And then yeah, just that idea of like it's not just her. Ever since she started with Barney, she's had a whole group of people around her who she's had to
Mhm.
come up with. So I think with forgetting the friend's name who you had mentioned that a lot of people have come
Raquel.
out on, it sucks for her because in a documentary that's only 90 minutes, you only have a certain amount of time, right?
Mhm.
So maybe you didn't see the parts of Raquel, which is why she's there, right? Like
Right,
she obviously
exactly.
does some, but the parts that you do see, it's after a long press tour with Selena, and it's like
Mhm.
Raquel doesn't realize that Raquel don't got a job if it ain't for Selena having to do this, and Raquel's telling her enjoy your job when one, no one ever said she did it, and two, Raquel's ignoring the part where she's got to sit down time after time after time after time after time with a lot of people. And I think everyone is excited for the moment they get to interview Selena Gomez, and they don't
Mhm.
realize that they're number 54 on the freaking day.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I thought there was more to see. That's all I could say. For
Yeah.
90 minutes, it was pretty short. So it
Yeah.
left me wanting more, and I'm curious to see what other stuff she's going to reflect. And thank goodness, it ain't like her damn friends' documentaries, where where Demi sounds like she's making docs just to shout out
Right.
her friends, and the whole thing's contrived just because like I kind of owe you one
Yeah.
on
A
on the last one.
no, and also unlike the Demi Lovato, was it Dancing in the Dark or Dancing with the
Was it
Devil? What
the
was that
Hulu
one?
series, the YouTube original series? Was it the Quibi series?
The most recent one, whatever what it is, it doesn't feel like she's too close to be making this kind of reflective look, right? Like Demi, it felt like the things she was talking about were still ongoing. It feels like Selena is like
she,
moved to a new chapter, you know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's reflecting back, and what's her name was
Yeah.
like setting the story straight. Uh, I would recommend this one, and if it was playing in theaters, just like I would have for the Billie Eilish one, more so the Billie, obviously, but I would recommend to have seen this one in theaters if you could, because there's some nice shots, some nice edits. Maybe would have been fun to see with the crowd, but highly recommend it at home on Apple TV Plus.
What do you think
Going
Selena
through,
Gomez fans call themselves?
so I know her nickname is Sal, right?
Hmm.
Because I've met some acquaintances and they're like, "Oh yeah, Sal was here the other day." I'm like, "Sal? That's what."
Cell.
Okay, Sal. Sorry,
All right.
Sal.
Didn't
I
realize
don't
you were
know
on such a close
the
basis with her,
Sals.
but okay.
They're like that. It was
The
actually people who were really
Selenators.
close to her. Ew. God no. I'd rather be the Gomez's than something else.